Hi, I'm Nat.
And I'm Guy.
We're having some technical difficulties, which is why we're starting right now.
And we're testing out a bunch of stuff, so we got a lot of computers on here, but
Yes.
we're going to streamline it hopefully by next week.
Exactly.
And what were the big stories for today?
Well, we have some indication now about Snow White and how it's at least doing now that it's fully open. Of course, we don't have the box office numbers yet for the weekend, which are the important ones for opening weekend, but at least there's some indication.
Yeah, I think we got the first day box office numbers.
Yeah, they released those.
Okay, let's go into the 20 minutes of Spanish, 15 minutes of Spanish.
Así es, siempre empezamos con español porque pues es un canal en español. Siempre me preguntan que por qué hablamos inglés y es porque el canal pues empezó... manzanas. Es porque el canal empezó en inglés en Canadá. Guy es de Canadá, yo viví 13 años en Canadá y pues, estuvimos por allá bastante tiempo. Muchísimas gracias a todos los que vieron la reseña de Blancanieves. Sí, la hice bastante rápido y atropellada porque llegué corriendo del cine a grabar y luego editarla rápido y sacarla. La quería sacar antes de creo que la saqué a las 10, quería que fuera como a las 7 de la mañana, pero pues no se pudo. Les recuerdo que solo somos Guy y yo los que manejamos todo el canal, desde las cámaras, luces, hasta cómo hacer los en vivos y etcétera. Y hola Rafa, primer comentario, así es. ¿Qué estaba diciendo? Entonces, pues sí, digo duendes cuando debería de ser enanitos, porque estoy pensando en dwarves, porque la vimos en inglés, y luego en inglés en el en vivo ayer dije elves, porque estaba pensando en enanitos. Así funciona mi cerebro, usted disculpará. Y pues sí, tenemos los números iniciales de cómo le ha ido en taquilla a Blancanieves, y ya que ha sido el tema, pues ahora sí que la última mitad de esta semana para nosotros, porque, y como lo dije en ese video, pues yo llevo cargando con esta película y con Disney y etcétera desde 2023, desde que lo anunciaron, porque fue cuando empezó todo el comentario sobre pues Rachel Zegler y primero que pues no era Blancanieves, y luego todos los comentarios que se echó y después pues todo lo de las premiers ahora que sí iban a ver y luego que no y que ha sido un desastre para Disney. Y también pues yo con Disney tengo como una relación de amor-odio porque pues me gustaba mucho Disney cuando era chiquita, para qué digo que no, pero a lo largo de los años ha sido de las compañías que mejor ejemplifican cómo irse completamente con ideología y solo fijarse en la ideología a qué te lleva y en qué resulta, y el mal producto, y también cómo alienar a mucho de tu público a la vez. Entonces, pues sí, hablo mucho sobre Disney y también pues todos los cosas que hay por detrás también de muchas de las decisiones que toman, toda su relación con el Human Rights Campaign o la campaña por los derechos humanos, que pues de derechos humanos no tiene nada porque se dedican solamente a la comunidad alfabeto, y también hice todo un video sobre eso en inglés hace también como 2 años. Entonces mi historia con Disney es larga y por eso me gusta hablar mucho sobre eso, porque es un gran ejemplo, pero también pues es algo que todo el mundo conoce. Entonces cuando tratas de ejemplificar cierto tipo de ideologías o cierto tipo de movimientos corporativos, usar a Disney es muy fácil porque todo el mundo sabe a qué te refieres. Y Coca-Cola no, por ejemplo, Coca-Cola no ha hecho... Okay. Coca-Cola no ha tenido errores tan magnos como Disney, ni de los cuales toda la gente se da cuenta. Sí ha hecho varias estupideces, sí ha tenido campañas woke, pero menos de las cuales la gente se entera ya, ahora sí que todo el mundo. Y con Disney pues es algo que vemos reflejado en pantalla también en el tipo de historias que cuentan y etcétera. Y entonces ahora ya vimos que abre taquilla con $3.5 millones. En Estados Unidos me parece todavía, obviamente no hay números internacionales, pero parece que es 43% de aprobación, debajo de La Sirenita, que fue 68%. Y también, pues como muchos hemos dicho, como dijimos Guy y yo, termina siendo pues una película que la gente que no se entera de todo este drama y todos los chismes que hay alrededor de la película y los errores y lo que dijo Rachel Zegler y que apoya a Palestina y la otra apoya a Israel y se están peleando. Hay mucha gente que nunca se entera de eso, también porque los medios tradicionales pues no se dedican tanto a publicitar ese tipo de comentario. Entonces, pues los que vayan el fin de semana, los que tienen hijos, los hijos, pues como dije ayer, les va a gustar porque hay animalitos y los enanitos también, pues están chistosos si tienes menos de 8 años, si no, pues están entre aterradores y pues es también un comentario en lo triste que Disney ha decidido dejar todo como que hasta el último minuto, porque sabemos que los enanitos fueron pues rediseñados y que no iban a ser enanitos, entonces pues todo salió muy atropellado, pero alguien de 8 años no se va a dar cuenta y realmente esta película sí está hecha para pues niños, se supone, pero y también lo que voy a decir el lunes en el video que quiero sacar, la película original no estaba, o sea, la intención de Walt Disney era que no era para niños, o por lo menos no para niños nada más, era una película más hacia adultos y adolescentes de la época, y por eso quiero hablar sobre eso, porque mucha gente lo toma y el comentario que hay alrededor de la película, tanto la original como la nueva, pues hay mucha gente que no se sabe la historia o que no se sabe las motivaciones de por qué ciertas cosas se ven de cierta manera o se hablan de ciertos temas o por qué se enamora tan rápido el príncipe. Mucha gente, y obviamente en especial cuando entró toda esta ola feminista a Disney, pues tratan de burlarse de eso, pero hay un trasfondo por el cual Walt Disney decidió y tomó las decisiones que tomó y pues también... esta película y varias de las que han sacado en live action, pues es un poco como escupir en la memoria de Walt Disney, en especial porque se nota que los creadores nuevos no se saben estas historias tampoco y no se saben los motivos y las motivaciones y pues tampoco respetan que fue un achievement, o sea que fue súper importante para la época cuando salió fue la primer largometraje animado, fue súper complicado para Walt Disney poder sacarlo y hay tanta historia detrás y también pues la gente no se sabe la historia original de los hermanos Grimm, mucha gente no se la sabe y por qué Disney decidió no irse 100% con las cuentos de hadas originales del siglos pasados porque pues en la original le ponen unas zapatillas no sé si eran de metal o de qué eran, pero pues básicamente el príncipe la encarcela y luego todos se mueren al final, siempre las princesas terminan muertas al final, entonces hay motivos también por los cuales Disney no decidió ser 100% fiel al material, pero en este caso sí podrían haber sido, aunque sea un poquito más fiel al material, para que hiciera sentido la pinche historia, pero bueno. Parece que pues ahí se excedió la taquilla de Dumbo, la taquilla inicial de Dumbo, esa nueva, también la live action que hizo Tim Burton, que también da miedo y es completamente hecha con CGI, y esa también me dio tristeza porque Dumbo se me hace una historia muy tierna y triste y pues que no le haya ido bien por los errores técnicos, en especial de la película, pues sí, o sea, también me dio tristeza, pero mucha gente me dice, y vi en los comentarios sobre mi crítica rápida, que no me gusta nada y que me quejo de todo, y no, por ejemplo, con Lilo y Stitch sí creo que podrían hacer algo bien, en especial porque parece que los únicos que van a ser animados son los aliens, y pues no tenemos aliens, y ponerle algo que se vea más real a un niño, un Stitch ya real, que se vea como cruce entre perro, koala y alien, pues eso sí sería aterrador. Entonces está bien que se vea un poco animado, por ejemplo. Entonces falta ver cómo les va con esa película, pero pues no es que odie todo y que no me guste nada. Por ejemplo, La Sustancia me gustó muchísimo, con todo y su mensaje feminista. Hasta vi paralelos ahora, o sea, como que mi cerebro se remontó ahorita a La Sustancia con Blancanieves y pues que es una historia bastante parecida. Quieran o no, pues son historias que están en el léxico social, cultural de por lo menos el oeste. Pero, por ejemplo, esa sí me gustó mucho. Pero recientemente, pues sí, no han habido muchos. Mickey 17 no me gustó porque pues fueron demasiado obvios con todo eso, pero vamos a seguir viendo películas y lo que más me interesa de ver películas no es tanto hacer la crítica ni la crítica técnica ni etcétera, lo que me interesa es ver cómo reflejan lo que estamos viviendo hoy en día y los tipos de mensajes que les meten o que salen de las películas, a veces hasta sin querer, pero por todo el ambiente social y cultural en el que estamos viviendo. Sí, no traigo muchas noticias, lo admito, sobre el mundo en general, porque hoy nos la pasamos tratando de arreglar los en vivos y tratando de ver cómo los podemos mejorar, porque nos queremos enfocar un poquito más en los en vivos, justamente para así tener como secciones, como alguien sugirió hace unos días, para poder cortar, por ejemplo, esta sección en español y sacarla también como un video, porque nos ayudaría mucho más a hacer videos más largos si tenemos más tiempo durante la semana, pero a YouTube le encanta que saques contenido casi todos los días, básicamente, que es lo que habíamos estado tratando de hacer, pero pues todo, como solo somos dos, todo termina saliendo a medias, o sea, termina a veces medio chafa, porque pues no nos da el tiempo y no nos da la vida de hacer todo lo que tenemos que hacer. Entonces, sí, el plan ahora, y siempre me gusta decirles los planes, porque a veces no me gusta cuando los creadores empiezan a cambiar cosas y luego nadie sabe qué está pasando. El plan va a ser pues mejorarlos en vivos para que se vean visualmente mejor y también que lo pues, podamos controlar tanto Guy como yo, porque normalmente soy yo la que hace todo lo de las cámaras y cambiar ángulos y etcétera. Y también planear mejor la sección, por ejemplo, en español, para poder cortarla y que sea un video como de noticias y sacar esos más a diario para los que no pueden ver el en vivo, o para pues también que sacar algo y que se descubra el canal un poco más. Entonces, ahí ya podría hacer videos más largos, más de 20, 30 minutos, y analizando y yéndonos a fondo y la historia de cosas y etcétera, que es lo que más me gusta hacer, pero pues tarda muchísimo en editarse también, en especial poner pues que salgan los assets, las fotos, las canciones, la música detrás y hacerlo más, o sea, me gustaría poder producirlo más, como los videos anteriores que habíamos estado sacando, y luego YouTube nos cambió la jugada, etcétera, etcétera. Pero muchas gracias por estar por acá, gracias por su paciencia. Hoy va a haber bastantes errores técnicos, nada más les aviso, porque estamos probando varias cosas y tratando de hacer cosas diferentes y que tenemos cables por todos lados. Entonces, si algo sale mal, pues ya, saldrá mal X. Y pues hoy es viernes, entonces si van a salir, cuídense por allá afuera. Déjenme ver si alguien más dijo algo. No había dicho nada. Está bien. Gracias, Rafa, primer comentario. Y pues ya, vámonos a la sección en inglés. Y también, como dijo Rafa ayer, y gracias por la sugerencia, dejé el link de la red social, bueno, la red de videos en la que grabamos la otra mitad de todo este show, porque ahí sí nos dejan hablar más libremente y decir cosas, en especial sobre política, que queremos decir, pero que luego YouTube se enoja y no queremos moverle. Entonces hacemos también la otra mitad del show por allá. Es verde, es la contraparte, no la contraparte, la competencia de YouTube. Entonces pues ahí está el link y ahí también ya estamos en vivo por si quieren cambiarle. Pero bueno, buenas noches, muchas gracias y esperen cosas interesantes la próxima semana y durante este en vivo, porque nos va a salir mal algo, eso sí lo sé. That's it.
What did you say in Spanish there?
Oh, hold on, now there's people. Okay, so Walker is asking me, what do you think? I'm just going to say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Walker dice, ¿qué te parece que hoy en día las religiones evangélicas crecen más que la católica, ya que la Iglesia Católica en general está más abierta a la cultura progre? Creo que también las evangélicas, creo que también la iglesia, por lo menos en Canadá, por ejemplo, de las que están como más enfocadas en todo eso, son las evangélicas, o las que se salieron del catolicismo hace mucho tiempo, pero que ahora también han cambiado en su forma de manejar las cosas. Y en Vancouver, pues todas las evangelical churches son las que tienen pastores que son LGBTQ y bla, bla, bla. Entonces, pues no sé, o sea, creo que en ambos lados hay como un resurgimiento más bien de la ortodoxia, la iglesia ortodoxa católica, y Guy le encanta este tema y habla mucho sobre eso, pero pues quería contestar en español. Y rápido, Rafa, hazle como una alienada que graba sus en vivo. Sí, es lo que vamos a empezar a hacer. Y sí, es un poco para poder nada más sacar algo, pero justamente por eso ahora tengo que planear mejor pues qué voy a decir en español, porque normalmente llego corriendo de andar editando pues cuando puedo durante el día, que normalmente toma mucho tiempo, y pues ya no pude, a veces como que estoy viendo otras cosas o noticias, pero pues se me cuatrapea todo, y ahora sí lo quiero hacer más planeado y más justo para poder cortarlo y subirlo al día siguiente o ese mismo día. Y luego at C dice, un gusto verlos en vivo, continúen, tienen nuestro apoyo. Muchísimas gracias y muchísimas gracias por todos los nuevos suscriptores que hoy nos llovieron suscriptores. Yo, ayer que me andaba quejando de que YouTube no nos quería, que no nos mostraba, pues ahora parece que nos mostraron a más gente. Entonces muchísimas gracias a todos los que se han suscrito y todos los que han visto los últimos videos, que pensé que ya nadie nunca más iba a ver, porque pues sí, habíamos estado teniendo como normalmente 2,000 tantas vistas y teníamos videos esta semana que iban en 100, entonces no entendía qué estaba pasando, pero muchísimas gracias. And I'll do this question because I think this might also be an interesting question for you, that Walker is asking that what do you think nowadays that evangelical religions are growing more since the Catholic and the Catholic Church in general is more open to the progressive culture? Because you love this topic, I know that.
Yeah, I don't like how the Catholic Church is open up to progressiveness because it's made non-Catholic Christian churches really open up to foundations that really aren't central to religion, and I think they're going farther and farther and farther away from their true identity. In Vancouver especially,
I was saying that,
the churches are painted in rainbow flags. The stairs going up to the church is literally a different color
and
for
saying,
the rainbow
like, you're
flag.
included, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Be prideful of who you are, be proud of who you are, stuff like that. So it's very obvious.
Yeah,
what the motivation is.
And it's just, I don't like it at all. But what I see happening right now is there's a huge insurgence into
Orthodox Catholicism.
Orthodoxy and traditional Catholicism, which is really good, but it's all men going there. And you'll see these men really focused on debates as well. So they're really tip of the spear as far as ideology goes in the debate space and into politics and things like this. So it's really good. But you're seeing a lot of feminists and LGBTQ community go into these fake progressive churches. But yeah,
because now they're opening their doors to it. And Walker also.
Oh wait, there's one more thing. And the Pope has been really ill lately, and he seems to have been recovered, but he's talking about stepping down or retiring. So this is going to be a huge transition point or inflection point within the Catholic Church. A lot of people want it to go back to traditionalism before the Vatican II.
Yeah. And I did speak a little bit about that in my conclave video.
I was trying to tell you today, let's do an update on the Pope's health next week for a video, but you didn't want to do it.
Let us know if you think that would be interesting, because he's been insisting on me, on us doing a video about the Pope's health and the Pope. So let me know if you'd be interested in a video about that, maybe exploring a little bit more about how and why this whole intrusiveness from the left has got into the church and how it initially got there for the whole Vatican II stuff, because that would be interesting to me. Walker says, thank you. I hope you can make collaborations with Una Alienada, the girl that reviewed my video. I would love to. But I'm guessing the ball's not really in my court. The ball's always in the court of those who have a wider base. So,
every day
I'm open. I'm completely open.
But every day our channel's getting bigger, and this week was a big week where we were trying to make more edited videos. The problem was at the end of the week, it was our most unsuccessful week until today.
Yes.
And then these videos just exploded. So
today.
That was a nice surprise.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Rafa says, Guy, have you heard about Society of St. Pius X and Priestly Fraternity of St. Peter? I haven't. So.
No, I actually, it sounds very familiar because I watch a lot of Catholic news, so they often bring up a lot of subjects, but I'm not highly religious, so I can't remember a lot of things that they do bring up, especially when it's referring to names and things.
Yeah, I always say I'm personally not religious, but I'm very interested in religion. I studied it at university. I did philosophy of religion, so I am really interested in it, and I respect it, and I think it's important to have that moral foundation that a lot of countries are losing.
That's really I want a non-moving moral foundation. I may not be a practicing in religion, but I would like a non-moving moral foundation, a Christian Orthodox or Catholic Orthodox kind of moral base.
And opening up.
I think that's a big part of where religion can really go with orthodoxy, because it has a non-moving base. It can appeal to secularists because it has a long history of success, and Western society was really built on the pillars and the foundations of Catholic morals.
And then Walker also says it's quite interesting because here in my country, El Salvador, the real barrier against progressives has been the evangelical churches.
Yeah, the evangelical churches are complete crap.
Nobody's saying that that's the barrier in his country towards all the people that are all progressive. So the evangelical churches have been the stopping point. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Interesting. And it's El Salvador. So.
But it's often you get evangelical churches in the States and around the world that are independent from one another. So like in the Catholic Church, when big money comes into it, rules come from the top down, come from the Pope, and all these churches are forced to adopt it. Very often in evangelical churches, you can find good churches here or there that haven't been infiltrated by progressives. So maybe that's what's happening.
And I think it's more of a Canada, US, UK issue.
I don't know. I think it's all over the world.
Because here in Mexico, I don't know what the climate is regarding evangelical churches. Because I mean, Catholicism is so big here that I don't know what the climate is with other branches.
Well, I do know they practice Latin Mass here, and the Pope doesn't want them practicing Latin Mass. And I think it's important to have Latin Mass.
Sure. And then Walker also says, I'm not religious, but I believe that the battle against progressivism here in my country is being fought more by evangelicals than by Catholics. So what I was saying, and Rafa then says about his question to you, they're Catholic traditionalists commonly opposed to Vatican Council too.
Yeah, yes.
That's who he was talking about.
And I definitely agree with that. I'm against Vatican II, and I wish the church would kind of rewind and reset before that. And there is a movement that is trying to push towards that.
So maybe look into the Society of Saint Pius X. And Priestly Fraternity of St.
Should we get into the news today, or is there any more questions?
Rafa just quickly says Mormons are the ones that are getting a lot of influence in Latin America. Yeah.
They're dangerous because it's a fake religion, period. My grandmother used to be a Mormon, and by the time I came around, she was no longer part of that church, but it is a completely fake church. And if you ever look into it or research it, it's a bunch of malarkey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
I'll go to you, then we'll go to...
Why are you going to me? I told everybody that we're kind of testing things out right now.
Okay, yeah,
It's just me.
Oh, good.
Why is that good? There you go.
Yeah, we're testing new camera angles, a bunch of new things. I can now see on our TV screen, which you can't see, the articles, which I couldn't see before.
Yes.
This is also going to allow us to add video and different Twitter feeds and things like that. Hopefully. Today we wanted to keep it simple with the same articles, though.
Yes. So Snow White opening right around Dumbo in the mid 40 millions. Box office update. So there's a second update from Friday midday. Currently, Disney's Snow White is seeing 15.5 million today, which includes last night's 3.5 million, and they're expected to go to 40 million for domestic box office for the weekend. And I mean, it's not bad, and we talked about it kind of yesterday. 40 million
domestic, yeah, that's actually 40 million is exactly what I predicted. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting if they're able to hit that 40 million. That is bad. Because they need to hit 100 million?
Yes, but what I'm saying is I think it's going to be, yes, not a lot of people interested like in this weekend, like the first box office, but it might like slowly climb up and up and up. Because it kind of happened with Little Mermaid and also with Mufasa, interestingly, because it's still in theaters.
Yeah, but what happens to all Disney movies if they have bad reviews? The first weekend is their biggest weekend, and then they have a huge drop off. It's the same thing with Marvel movies. The independent critics' reviews really do matter when it comes to these movies, and they're only going to have that first weekend, and then it's going to be a drop off.
No, what I'm saying is the opposite. I think they're going to slowly garner money because families will still go see it, children will still want to go see it, they want to dress up, they want to go look at what Snow White. So I think we might not see the numbers they need like right away, but they'll keep it in theaters for a while. They still kept Mufasa. It's still in theaters.
They're going to keep it in theaters, but
that's from December.
It won't garner any money. I'll bet you $5.
I think it's going to garner at least 100, if not
domestically?
More. Oh, in the U.S. No, yes.
Okay,
I think it'll go to 200 probably because what did the Little Mermaid did? What? 250?
Yeah, but this is Snow White. This is horrible.
Something. So was the Little Mermaid. And their little animals were even scarier than these.
Scared?
The animals from this one were funny.
So you don't want to bet?
Yes, I'll bet you $5 because I know I'm right. I guess like 70 pesos.
Okay.
Sure.
And
But
3.5, and just so the viewers kind of know, 3.5 million is extremely low for an opening preview weekend.
For Disney.
Oh, for the first day.
Especially
for Disney. So, and 40 million would be a horrible domestic box office. The first weekend is always the biggest weekend. I would expect maybe a 50% drop off to the next weekend, and for theaters to start pulling it, especially because Disney has talked about, or not Disney hasn't talked about, but the rumor is Disney pulled the advertising budget for Snow White and already started investing it in Lilo and Stitch. So it's going to be interesting.
Yes. What are you doing?
Going to the next article here. There's a little, never mind. I want to explain it. Okay, so this is the Mickey 17.
Yes, so Mickey 17 to lose $75 million US from its theatrical run with a break-even point at 300 million USD. I did a video about this. Wow, my brain doesn't work. So I made a video about it. Keep it on the title. He's learning. I'll make it a bit bigger so people can read.
Well, I can't make it bigger right now.
You can zoom in.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay.
But you gotta.
Yeah, I know. Calm down.
This is our dynamic usually.
Okay.
But yes, I made a video about it, and the fact that the message is not subtle at all. Usually, I always get his name wrong. Bong Joon-ho is usually, he did Parasite, that one did really good, and it was full of social commentary and going against, capitalism. But this one, it's just too heavy-handed, and I think people are maybe a little bit tired now of these overt political and overt ideological messaging in movies and TV shows and etc., especially because they might be seeing that it's not really as they are being told that how bad it's going to be.
Well, also we
don't live in a Handmaid's Tale.
We also did a video on this.
I said that.
So it's pretty interesting. This movie was actually delayed. Was it because of the pandemic? It was delayed.
Writer's strike.
The writer's strike after the pandemic. So that put a huge delay on it of about a year, and it was actually supposed to be released before the election. I think they were trying to foreshadow Kamala Harris winning the election. It didn't happen, and this thing is just filled with political undertones that are not overtones. Overtones,
and the making him exactly like Trump, making the villain be basically Trump. And a lot of people did vote for the man, even if some people don't like him. A lot of other people do like him. So I think also the commentary around it and the fact that none of the stories fully get realized and a lot of the plot points are just left hanging, and also they're not resolved. It doesn't have the same morality that usually accompanies a science fiction film. It doesn't say really anything other than capitalism bad, Trump's gonna want to take over the world, and he's gonna fail. That's all it says.
But the main actor was somewhat good in the movie, so
Pattinson, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the one highlight of that movie. And same with Snow White. Although Rachel Zegler wasn't good in the movie, the only good thing about that movie was Rachel Zegler's singing.
Yes.
And I'm not a big fan of singing in movies, so it didn't do much for me. But to be honest, she is a good singer. She should be in Broadway, not in movies.
Yeah, so even Robert Pattinson's star power could not drive theatrical ticket sales for the futuristic dystopia. The film, which sees Pattinson's character as a series of clones working menial jobs, expected to lose between 75 million to 80 million USD during its theatrical run. Numbers saw Mickey 17 earn 35.7 million USD domestically and 92 million worldwide 2 weeks after its release.
Okay, so should we go into the next story now?
Sure.
Okay. This is going to be a Jason Bourne story.
Yes, so the Jason Bourne franchise on the shopping block, leaving Universal, seeing who wants to pick it up.
So, yeah, this was actually a really good franchise. I don't know how much life it has left in it without Matt Damon. So whoever picks this up is going to have to give Matt Damon a huge paycheck in order to at least go on with the next series to prove that the new movie studio knows how to do it right before they replace him with somebody else, and maybe even having a transition to introduce the character in the next episode with Matt Damon would be really good.
Yes. I'm not a super fan. I haven't really I think I watched one, but yeah.
And,
you added this one.
James Bond just sold for $1 billion. That's a much bigger franchise. So I don't know how much Universal could actually sell this for. Also, I just don't know if any other studio doesn't think they can get Matt Damon on for at least one movie. I don't know who's going to want to buy this thing, so it may not sell, and Universal may just have to reboot it itself. Okay, let's go into the next story, which is...
So Coyote versus Acme could find new life with Day the Earth Blew Up distributor. The canceled movie would be the second Looney Tunes feature saved by Ketchup Entertainment. So they're making it into a movie.
Yeah, so this could be good. I like to see other characters outside of Disney going into animation, so hopefully all the best for this. And Ketchup Studios has done a lot of good movies. They also did Hellboy, so it's maybe not the best movie, but it's not the worst movie either. So they've had a proven track record of knowing what to do with films and things like this.
And it's going to be with John Cena and Will Forte.
Oh God. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's not going to be the best thing. Okay, let's see what the next story is here. And it's a little bit...
So, major UK drama antitrust probe dropped. BBC and others fined for $5.4 million for colluding over crew pay in sports production.
Okay, so yeah, the BBC has been was colluding and kind of laundering money through productions. This is common in Hollywood, but the BBC is a government-run entity, so it's a little bit more scandalous to see it happen with a government-run entity. It would be the same in Canada if like the CBC, which is a government-run state channel, was laundering money, which I'm sure they do. But
and they were kind of not wanting to pay their freelance crew members, which I'm guessing all the rest are probably unionized, but...
Yeah. So I am having a little bit of trouble.
Yep, I know.
Okay.
Usually it's me that switches. Maybe hide your favorites. There you go. So Heathrow apparently had a fire, and flights have resumed after closure, but it caused a global turmoil because Heathrow is one of the biggest airports in the world. UK Heathrow, apparently there was a power outage. It had to do with the power lines. We keep seeing a lot of these stories about flying and flights getting, like planes catching on fire, but like planes having to do emergency landings. And we've always said, or I've always said, that it is, there's a question of, is it that they're putting more stories about it out, or is it that it's actually happening more? Is there some sort of intention for for people not wanting other people flying around as much? Is it like trying to cause panic, or is it there just more incidents, maybe because of DEI? There's that interesting question as to whether it's intentional or not, and whether the reporting on it is more now than it used to be.
Well, I didn't put it in the headlines, but it did come out today. The Toronto accident that happened at the airport where the plane flipped, it was actually pilot error, and the pilot was female. So it's not to say that all these are because of DEI, but it seems like more and more a fairly large portion of them are. But I also think that it's intentionally being reported by different news outlets a lot more. I don't know what for, but maybe they're planning something, maybe they're not. Yeah. So,
but yes, so everything's fine. It was shut for a long time, a while. So let me go to me. It was shut down for a while. So, I mean, anytime this happens at any major airport, it kind of ruins everybody's day because you end up having to wait a long time. And flights had to be diverted all over the world, basically, and it stranded tens of thousands of passengers, and it just seems that it was something to do with power lines at the top, power outages, and the power boxes. They were saying it's not suspicious, but apparently there was quite a bit of smoke.
Yeah, what I was going to say is the next story was actually taken down, at least by the page that I had it. It was the Johnson & Johnson story.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you have it? Okay. So why don't we just talk about it before we go on?
I can bring it up. You're not going to like it, but I can bring it up.
No, don't bring it up like that because it will ruin the other switcher.
Just bring yours, open yours, and I'll just put it up.
What do you mean?
Just open it.
It's fine, Natalia.
Open the switcher. I'm going to show you something.
I don't want to do everything right now. Just keep it.
Hold on.
Okay. Show me live what you're doing.
It's not.
Yeah, I know it's not. It's not. They're not connected.
But it was coming up. Hold on.
Okay, so let's just talk about.
Oh, hold on. I figured it out. See, I'm a genius.
Okay.
So Johnson & Johnson plans $55 billion in U.S. investments over the next 4 years. It's here.
Yeah, but you said you were going to put it here.
No, they can see it.
Oh, okay.
They can also see yours.
This is what they're seeing right here.
No, they're seeing the Johnson & Johnson one.
Oh, okay.
Because this is the live feed.
Okay, continue.
So we have been talking about a lot of companies and firms actually kind of listening to Trump and his threats and moving a lot of their business back to the U.S.
Yeah. So this is actually really huge. A lot of stations that were reported on this today did it reluctantly, especially after yesterday when, what was it? TSMC was the chip manufacturer company, said they were investing hundreds of millions in the U.S. Now Johnson & Johnson as well, bringing back major manufacturing. So Trump's strategy of threatening tariffs is actually at least working with the business community with beginning at least the investment to build the manufacturing in the U.S. again. So we'll have to see what does happen.
Yes.
And I think that was the last story for...
Yeah, just they'll invest $55 billion within the next 4 years, including 4 new manufacturing plants, which is kind of the strategy for Trump, which is to bring these companies back and generate more labor.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because that's why I control it, because they could still see the article.
Okay, is it reset now?
Yes, it's reset now.
Okay, well,
I'm teaching him.
Live on air, you're teaching me.
Yeah, on the job training.
I'm going to reset everything to your computer for next week.
Yes, because it works better.
Okay, well, we're going to head over to Rumble and we're going to get into
to the green...
Huh?
To the Green Video website. The link is in the description if you want to follow us there. We will be talking about heavier political stuff and giving heavier opinions about it as well, starting with probably there will be a Canadian election soon after Mark Carney, who is the new prime minister, said there wouldn't be an election anytime soon. Now, apparently, he's planning to announce one this Sunday.
Yeah, it's expected on Sunday.
So that means now I have to make my video about Canadian elections, which I had promised to make whenever they were going to announce one, because it's really difficult to understand Canadian elections if you're from a country that does them like normal people.
This is going to be a huge... inflection moment within global politics. The globalists are trying to rally around Mark Carney, who is the new Prime Minister of Canada. If he wins that election, globalism and progressive liberalism is going to really have a chance to survive. So I'm really hoping he doesn't win that election, but we're going to talk about it over on the other site here.
Yes. So follow us there, RUMBLE. Link is in the description, and I'm turning off YouTube. Let me see if anybody said anything. Oh, they're having a whole discussion here about between Walker and Rafa.
Oh, what are they saying?
About progressivism. They said Mormons were getting more influence in Latin America. Then it's true, seeing churches in the UK were more open to progressivism. Apparently things are different in Latin America. And then, guess that's why they tend to be more conservative. We tend to be more conservative than Europeans. And just saying that some Latinos are getting less conservative, and then they kind of came to an agreement.
A lot of Latinos are getting less conservative, but the West is getting extremely conservative right now because progressivism has really turned its back on the native populations of each country, whether that's Canada, the U.S., the U.K., or you can go in any EU country. The EU loves governance so much, they created another government to govern their government.
Yeah.
Called the EU.
They love control. They love being controlled, and this is the whole thing that feminized.
We should talk about all this stuff on the other site because YouTube doesn't like it.
So we are going to RUMBLE. Link is in the description. It's the correct one this time.
We'll see you over there.
We'll see you over there. Bye, YouTube.
Okay, and
hopefully it doesn't restart like the other day. Let me see.